Hi, I'm Jamie. Welcome back for another episode of Cooking and Hating It. I have been absent for quite a while. It's not because I wanted to. I've actually had a lot of things come up and I really don't want to get into it. So this recipe hails from the 1960s and it includes meat and chocolate. What do you think I'm making? We're making a fucking beef fucking fudge. Beef fucking fudge. This is a recipe that is by Mrs. Florence E. Weist from Montana in the 60s. She says that this is, and I quote, an elegant way to use up roast beef. Well, thank you, Florence. So one of the recent things we got from our food rescue was 5 pounds of butter. So this recipe is going to call for butter, it's going to call for walnuts or pecans, marshmallow fluff, and roast beef, sugar, chocolate chips, and evaporated milk. So I am going to have the recipe because Florence here thinks that we would like to make enough fucking beef fucking fudge for 50 servings. Like, anyways, so the first part, you heat up butter, evaporative milk, and like, what is evaporative milk? I would like to say you can sub it with, you know, almond milk or whatever, like, but I don't know. I mean, I've never, I don't know, like, who knows? Like, what kind of animal is like leaking evaporative milk? I don't know. And then sugar. So I've never claimed to be an expert in the kitchen, but Florence here says for this, cook butter, milk, and sugar for 5 minutes, stirring often. Sure. But you know what else she says? She says, until it forms a ball in cold water. Like, what? Where's the cold water coming in? Like, what am I supposed to do here? Well, the recipe calls for ground roast beef. I don't know what Florence means by roast beef. I didn't eat meat for most of my life, and we raised pigs, so we weren't eating beef. Okay, sidetrack. I was raised in a double wide trailer, right? With a basement, pretty big, right? But one time, the police came because somebody stole half a cow out of my family's freezer, and then we never ate beef again. So I think Florence meant like the roast beef that you cook. I don't know. She probably doesn't mean cold cuts, but I'm from the Northeast too, and we eat a lot of cold cuts. So I think this should be fine. I have the recipe, and she asked for it to be ground. So I'm gonna put, I'm not sure how you also measure this, so I'm gonna put a half a cup in my vintage Tupperware measuring thing. The vintage helps, it has some kinds of old flavors, you know, better than cast iron. And I am going to grind it in my food processor. I'm sure this is not at all what Florence wanted, but I respect Florence. We're gonna make Florence popular. For recipes like this, I firmly believe it helps to have a vintage bone or beige color food processor. So let's see here. So you just kind of dump the rest of your ingredients into here. So as you see, chocolate chips, this fluff. Did you call it fluff? Is that regional? My cousins called fluff. They also called it like fluff is like code for farting. So like they'd say, oh, sick. Did you fluff? So now we're gonna pour the ground roast beef into the mixture. See the chocolate mixture here? Ooh. I personally think that this is going to just give it a nice salty flavor. I think like that's the point of it. But I'm honestly not sure. She said it's to provide an elegance. Florence said this provides an elegance. to the dish. So pour this into a well-greased pan. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
I want to talk to them for a second, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
So, beef fudge, and I want to apologize.
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Bitch, shut up! So, I want to say that I didn't mean to drag Florence's name through the mud. She is obviously really great at recipes, just because it's nothing that I'm familiar with, means there's anything wrong with it. But I do want to say that she left us to our own devices. She didn't say, do you bake it at 350? Do you put it in the fridge? And yeah, I'm doing a fucking TV show. I should look this up ahead of time, but I figured, it's a recipe. They tell you that, right? No. So, we put it in the fridge, and look, do you see this? It looks like this. It looks like, look it barely moves. Kind of like a pudding or mousse. But this is what it is. I don't know. But what do you all think? Do you think that beef fudge sounds good? Do you? Does it sound appetizing? Are you kind of grossed out?
No. The ingredients sound fine enough, but even though the roast beef is a little strange.
Should we just dig in? I'm not afraid to try it, but to be honest, like, it doesn't sound very good to me. Oh my god, his is harder than mine. I think you got the good slice. That's what a good slice of this looks like. So if you are trying to woo somebody, let's say you take your first date or something, give them the good slice. And then this would be the slice that you give yourself to show that you are a humble host. I don't know why the fuck you would want to be the fucking humble person in a date. You should, like, you don't want to be walked on.
Walked all over.
Yeah! Anyways, should we try this?
Yeah. I got some roast beef. But I wasn't ready for it. That scared me a little bit. I gotta wash it down.
Oh. It tastes like marshmallow fluff and sugar with like a sprinkling of roast beef on top.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
It like doesn't even have like an exceptional flavor. Like I would say if it was hardened, and like Kat and I will probably eat all this. We don't really let things go to waste. We'll eat it. Would I recommend it? God no, but the holidays are coming up, and with a lot of different holidays, people like to give gifts. This might be the fudge recipe you send to Aunt Nancy.
Is this the fudge recipe of 2020?
This is the fucking fudge recipe of 2020. Yes. This is the recipe you send people who are like, and they tell you they like it, and you know they're lying to you. And you also know they've always questioned you. They've questioned your life. They think you're like a goddamn weirdo. They fucking hate you. Oh wait, I think I'm opening up a little bit too much. So anyways, you send this to them, and then you say, why, thank you. And we put roast beef in it to add to the elegance of the recipe.
It's very elegant. Yeah. If you sent this to somebody and they were really upset with the consistency,
There you go.
would you blame the shipping company?
I blame any competitor to USPS. So
Oh.
I'd only use USPS, as you know. So no, save USPS. I mean, if I sent this to a relative and they didn't really like it and they said the consistency was all like mushy, I would blame it on their bad taste.
Perfect.
I'll say, well, you just don't know what people with good taste eat. But even like, it looks like, I'm gonna pull on barf, it looks like cheap dog food. Like the wet kind.
Oh my god.
Doesn't it?
I'm glad it doesn't smell like it.
Let me see, what does it smell like? It smells like sugar.
Would it be worth to cook a roast beef just for this recipe?
No! But she said Florence said it was an elegant way to use up some roast beef. And I appreciate people having their own aesthetics and their own take of elegance and embracing it and forcing it upon everybody they know and them putting it in the recipe got so famous that here it is, 2020, and I'm making it. Like, people are making it, you know, like, this is a recipe that people who don't know Florence are eating. So she did embrace her elegance and she shared that. Do you feel uplifted?
I feel like I'm in touch with the 60s, but yet this is just perfect for this year.
Yeah, the fucking 2020 of all recipes. Anything else?
I know there's one thing that's sweeter than this.
What? And you know what? You know what? Everybody but these two think I'm a nasty ass bitch.
Why is that?
I don't know. Bitch, shut up! If you enjoyed this, if you enjoy anything I do, please subscribe, follow me on social media. I appreciate the love.